Now we're going to have him read just a little from this text. And I have a favorite one that I want him to read from, which is about Martin and Malcolm and the tension that they had as they thought about America. And I'm going to tell you which one it is. That one right there. Yeah, right there.
Martin thought there was something distinctive?
Yes, yes,
right.
yes.
Well, you underline everything in here. No, but I'm doing something that I've never done in my life, which is to read from my text at a book reading. But I follow instructions around my dear James Cone. Martin thought that there was something distinctive about the Negro, that we had certain peculiar spiritual gifts that allow us to withstand suffering and pain and respond by opting for a nonviolent strategy. It's almost a kind of implicit moral superiority that we had accumulated over time that didn't allow us to engage in the kind of gangster-like activity. Whereas with Malcolm, Malcolm would say over and over again, I am the man you think you are. What do you think you would do after 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow and lynching? Do you think you would respond nonviolently? What is your history like? Let's look at how you responded when you were oppressed. George Washington, revolutionary guerrilla fighter. And he started right across the street, didn't he? Right there, Continental Congress, right in Nassau Hall. Malcolm was just so direct. One could easily imagine his response to Johnny Carson if he had been on the Tonight Show and been asked, well, what do you think about the Negro problem? What do you think the Negro really wants? I'd say, well, Brother Johnny, what do you really want? Do you want your children to live in a safe neighborhood? You want a job with a living wage? Do you want decent health care? Do you want respect for yourself and your community? There's no Negro problem. We want what you want. We are the people you think you are. If you were in our situation, what do you think you would want? How would you go about getting it? As has been reported, Richard Nikon says in his files, if I were a black man, I'd be head of the Black Panther Party. That's what Nixon actually said. If I were a black man, I wouldn't put up with all this violation, exploitation. I'm Richard Nixon. And all Malcolm would say is, listen to the man. You see what I mean? There's a line in Du Bois when he says that if in fact the slave insurrectionists were whites struggling against black supremacy, they would be heroes in every corner of the European world. So Malcolm was saying explicitly, be honest, y'all. So when it comes to self-defense, it's a matter of by any means necessary, as he said in his great Oxford Union debate. Oh my God, does that mean you pick up the gun? Did you have a history of picking up the gun? Did you drop bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima? Whose history are we talking about? We're human beings, man. Just like you in that sense. Now Martin would come back and say, Malcolm, you're scaring him, brother. Oh, you got them so upset. They get so scared, they're going to be hard on us now. Harder than ever. But Malcolm would say, I'm not talking about strategy. I'm talking about truth at this point. But Martin, we got to be honest. The community that you're leading, even given your spiritual and moral ideas and vision, that's how they really think. Most of them are just scared. They're scared to the core. As long as they stay scared, they don't even follow you in a serious way. So you can imagine the juxtaposition there. If there was an imaginary meeting between Malcolm and Martin, it would go as follows. Malcolm would say, Brother Martin, Garvey and others have told us that the vast majority of the masses of black people will never be treated with dignity. And this is a quote from Brother Marcus Garvey. They will always live lives of ruin and disaster tied to the prison system in the hood. Well, he didn't say hood, but in prisons and projects. There might be spaces for the middle classes, but there will never be spaces for the masses. And Martin would say, no, I can't believe that. I just can't. We've got to redeem the soul of America. Martin would say, there is no soul, Martin. That can't be true, Malcolm. But then Martin would come back to Malcolm and say, so what you gonna do after you tell your truth? You gonna follow Elijah and create a black state in the southern United States that has a chance of a snowball in hell? Malcolm would come back and say, but the chance of your integration full scale is a snowball in hell too. It's going to be a truncated immigration. It's going to be assimilation. It's going to be the bourgeoisification of black people. Some may go all the way up to the White House meeting. But even when they get there, they still going to have the crack houses, still going to have the prison industrial complex. And if he doesn't say a mumbling word about the new Jim Crow, it's going to get worse and worse. Employment get worse and worse. So even the black person in the highest place, Garvey could very well have been right, you see. Then Martin and Malcolm would look at each other with tears flowing down their eyes because both of them loved black folks so. They would bend over and say, let's sing a song. Let's sing a song. You know what I mean? Maybe a little Stevie Wonder, George Clinton. We need some Aretha Franklin. Yeah, we need some Billie Holiday, some Sarah Vaughan, some Curtis Mayfield. Sing a song, Martin. And Martin would say, we're gonna go crazy. No, we just gonna keep on pushing. Because it ain't a question of what is at the moment credible. It's a matter of what has integrity, what is true, what is right, and what is worthy of those who struggled and died for us, for the precious children. That's what brings Brother Martin and Brother Malcolm together.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.